Okay, get yourself ready for your morning practice. Just sit yourself on a lift and come into a good cross-legged position. Sorry, just bear with me, let me change my battery. So sit in cross legs and just move the buttock flesh to the side. Just assess whether or not you are sitting evenly. So just listen to the feeling of the physical body. So in our yoga practice, we learn to listen to the body, and that obviously the body isn't making audible sounds and signals often, but we learn to listen to the sensations of the body. And so just spend a moment just thinking wholly and solely physical. Just observe the physical body. Just observe how your body is feeling right now. Keep your eyes still in the sockets. Just look at something that doesn't move. Just fill your lungs from the bottom to the top and empty your lungs from the top to the bottom, making a concerted effort to inhale fully, to fully inflate the lungs, and then just to observe how that makes the body feel in terms of your energy. So with each inhalation, perhaps your energy feels more prominent. Just listen to the breath and observe the body's response to the breath. If you notice after a little while that you're not sitting evenly, then adjust until you are. Just release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste, press the palms firmly together, lengthen from your armpits into your elbows. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. We're just focusing intently on the feeling of the breath and the feeling of the physical body after you have inhaled. As long as there is no reason why you shouldn't hold your breath, such as heart conditions or blood pressure issues, then just take a deep inhalation, retain it for a moment, allow the body to absorb the oxygen in that breath, and then release, just retaining the breath just for a very short amount of time, just a couple of seconds. With an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest, lifting your chest to meet your chin. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. Release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Just spend a moment with the tip of the index finger and the tip of the thumb in contact, the other fingers stretching away from the palms. Just a gesture of wisdom and physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our practice. And then release the head upwards. Just release your eyes, open your eyes, and then hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, elevating the heart area upwards. Again, a really good position just to open up your energy. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears, but lifting the heart area upwards. Take deep inhalations. And with an exhalation, turn to the right side, maintaining that deep lift of the chest. Turning from the left to the right, drawing your abdomen across. And then come back to the center. Again, take a deep inhalation, feeling the lungs from the bottom to the top. And then with the following exhalation, turn to the left. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Working with emphasis on the inhalation, just filling the body with the vitality of the universe. Using the out breath to intensify the turn. And then gently come back to the center. Just come off your lift and come straight into Adho Mukha Virasana. So the big toes together, your knees apart, and then come forward into Adho Mukha Virasana, keeping the seat bones down on the heels as much as you possibly can. Lengthening the tailbone down, lengthening from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows, the wrists, the palms, the fingers, the fingertips, the fingernails. onto your knees. Bring your hands as wide apart as the mat, your little fingers right on the edge of the mat. Bring your feet as wide apart as the mat. And then come up into dog down. Just using the breath. Filling the lungs with vitality from the environment around us. So we draw in the prana of the universe, the energy of the universe. We draw in the oxygen that the body needs to convert our food into energy. And that oxygen is there as a unique sequence of events that make the planet possible, make life possible on the planet. Keep the feet where they are, keep the hands where they are, swing the hips forwards, come into dog, up, lifting up into the chest, turning the crease of the elbows to face the front, pushing deeply into the heels, lifting up into the chest. Breathing even deep inhalations and exhalations. And then come back into dog down. Just feel how dog up broadens the space around the diaphragm, bringing energy into the diaphragm. Just listen to the breath. You're working with an emphasis on the inhalation, using the exhalation to draw that energy of the breath into power in the body. Okay, step your feet forwards, come up into the standing position. Have your feet as wide apart as your mat. Use blocks under your hands if you've got a bad back. Otherwise, just stay with the feet on the edge of the mat, and then we're going to go into full uttanasana. Do half uttanasana if you've got a back problem. Raise your arms, hook the thumbs into the crease of the elbows, wrap your fingers around the elbows, come forwards and then hang down. Let the back of the neck become longer, but really fiercely, determinedly work the legs. Lifting the kneecaps, pressing the fronts of the knees through to the backs of the knees, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, lifting the fronts of the thighs up towards the hip socket. Just continue to focus on inhalations, filling the lungs to their full capacity with in-breaths. Try and touch the sides of the ribs with your breath. Breathe into the armpit chest. Breathe into the back chest. Breathe from the bottom of the lungs to the top with the in-breath, and exhale from the top of the lungs to the bottom. Feel the energy of the breath permeating through the blood into the skin. Maybe you can feel energy in the legs, in the skin of the legs, in the muscles. So just as a reminder, we're not retaining the breath anymore, we're just breathing normally. But we're working to fill the lungs to their maximum capacity, touching the front of the lungs, the side ribs of the lungs, the back chest of the lungs, the armpit chest. Okay, release your hands down to the floor. And then bring your hands into your hips. Bend your knees on the way up if you need to. And then come up into standing position. Come up back into Tadasana. Have the inner edge of the feet together. Just feel how perhaps already your energy has transformed a little. Just observe the feeling of your breath as you inhale and exhale. Continuing to breathe into the lining of the lungs. Breathe into the armpit chest, into the front chest and into the back chest. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump your feet apart nice and wide with your legs. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out. Just face the front with the chest. Turn the legs from the inside out. Both legs from the inside out. Take a deep inhalation and go down on an exhalation. Down into trikonasana, turning the chest upwards. Just fill the lungs in the same way. From the bottom to the top. Allowing the air to touch the armpit chest, the back chest and the front chest. Just observe at the same time the position of the legs and the hips. Is that front leg buttock bone in line with the heel of the front leg? Is that back leg working determinedly? Pushing towards the room behind you. The front leg hip pushing forwards towards the room in front of you. So keeping the breath as the priority, focusing on inhalations. Come up on an inhalation. Swap the feet around. Just feel that the legs are in the right place. Have a quick look that the heel is in line with the instep. Turn the front legs, turn the legs outwards. Take a deep inhalation, a deep exhalation. A deep inhalation and then go down on an exhalation. Continue to focus on the breath. Focus on the physical pose as well. Up on an exhalation, bring the feet parallel and then jump or step the feet back together, come back into Tadasana. So observe how it feels to come out of the pose with an inhalation and to come out of the pose with an exhalation. There's a distinct difference. Often coming out of the pose on an inhalation is really energizing. Just continue to fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. allowing the air to expand in the lungs to touch the sides of the lungs, the front of the lungs, the backs of the lungs. So we can do padangusthasana. So you might want a belt for this. If you know you can't reach your toes, then get a belt and then just hook the big toes inside the belt like that. And then when you come forwards, you just come forwards with your back straight. So all the time you come forwards with your back straight. And if you start to do this, if you start to round the back, then you've gone too far. So just use the belt if you need it. Otherwise, we're going to come forwards with the hands on the hips. So hold on to the belt if you're using the belt. Or have your hands on your hips. Wing your elbows towards each other behind you. Lift up into the chest. So often we come into this pose with the arms outstretched. And that's good, but that can be quite strong in your back. So you can, of course, come forwards with your arms outstretched, but if there's any difficulty with your back, especially lower back, just come into it with the hands on the hips. Lift up into the chest, take a deep inhalation, take a deep exhalation. Take a deep inhalation, and then go down on an exhalation. Keeping the head lifted, keeping the chin and the chest driving forwards. And then reach down, take hold of the big toe with the index finger and the thumb underneath the big toe. And then wrap the thumb around the insides of the big toe. And then activate your legs really firmly, tightening the kneecaps, lifting the thighs, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, projecting the chin and the chest forwards. Just focus on filling the lungs and emptying them. Filling the lungs and emptying them. Feel that you're trying to have a tug of war with your big toes, stamp them down, but try and imagine that your toe is the head of a nail and you're trying to rip a nail out of the floor. Projecting the chin and the chest forwards. If you can bend your elbows out to the side, drawing chest through. Never go forward with your head, keep the head lifted. Keep the breath as a priority. And then just come back to the center point. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then release the toes and then walk your hands towards the end of your mat. Bend your knees if you have to find the floor. And then step back into dog down. Have your feet hip width apart. Have your hands shoulder width apart. Lift the seat bones up towards the ceiling. Focusing on the breath. Dog down is a really good position for allowing you to focus on your breath. So focus on the energy and the vitality of the inhalation. Observe the balance of action. Are you working evenly on the left side and the right side, between the legs and the arms, between the arms and the spine and the legs? Maintain that action of breath. Trying to get the air to touch the side ribs, the armpit chest, the front of the chest, the back of the chest. Okay, come down onto your knees and then just sit back on your heels. Just observe the energy that you have released so far, that tangible sensation of energy in the skin and in the muscles. Just continue to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Fill in the limbs with that vital energy of the universe. Okay, and then just sit just in cross legs for a moment. Have a belt where you can reach it, have a couple of blocks where you can reach them, and have a folded blanket where you can reach it as well. Might not need all of those, but it's handy to have those nearby just in case. So we can do janu sirsasana, which is a really nice open forward bend. So stretch your legs out and then just roll over, move the buttock flesh out to the side, and then just come into dandasana. So at this stage, just assess how your body feels today. Are you able to roll onto the front tip of the seat bones, or do you feel like the seat bones are the kind of bony bit that you should be able to feel pressing into the floor? If you roll onto the back edge of the seat bones, just let yourself do that. Just roll onto the back edge of the seat bones and just feel how much you sink, and then try and breathe. So let yourself sink, let the back round, and try and take deep breaths. Really difficult, isn't it? So it's difficult to take deep inhalations. So have your hands at the sides and then roll onto the front edge of the seat bones. And then take some deep breaths. So if you struggle, sit on the front edge of the seat bones. I want you to sit on a folded blanket. In fact, let's all just sit on a folded blanket today. Let's just so that we can, because we don't sit on anything, and let's just have a moment of just kindness to ourselves and sit on a folded blanket. And then just feel, all of a sudden, maybe it feels like you can lift higher in the chest. You can roll onto the front edge of the seat bones. Okay. Just in dandasana, turn the legs inwards. Turn the legs inwards, turn the shins inwards, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, turn the inner knees down towards the floor, and then push into your heels. So when you turn your legs inwards, you'll probably be able to push the inner heel equally with the outer heel. If you let your legs roll outwards, then it's really difficult to push into the inner heel. So the outer heel is further away from the body than the inner heel. So this action of turning the legs gives you that, if your feet were on a wall, you'd leave a perfect footprint. Lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area upwards. So before we go into janu sirsasana, let's just throw a belt around the feet and then push the feet into the belt really firmly, lengthening from the hip into the heel, and then use the belt to roll onto the front edge of the seat bones a little more. And then you can translate that action into lifting up of the chest. Draw the abdomen towards the spine. And again, fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. Fill in the lungs with this effervescent vitality of the universe. if you can, if there's no problem with your back that prevents you coming forwards, just reduce the distance between the feet and the belt. But never coming forwards with the head. We always come into forward bends with the head lifted. If you can come forwards, just keep coming forward, rolling onto the front edge of the seat bones, using the lift of the chest, keeping the shoulder blades moving in towards the front chest, so you don't allow the shoulder blades to round outwards. Just focusing on inhalations and using the exhalations to come forwards, lifting the chest. Activating the legs, pressing the kneecaps through to the backs of the knees, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards. So paschimottanasana. If you can reach around your legs, then do. Reach around your feet, then do. But keeping the head lifted, driving the chin towards the toes, keeping the thighs and the shins turning inwards. And then gently come back to the center. Just breathing even, deep inhalations and exhalations. So with paschimottanasana, maybe you acknowledge some resistance in coming forwards, and that's pretty normal really. So we're just going to go into janu sirsasana. So just hook the belt around the right foot and then just cross the belt over, and it will kind of roughly stay in place. Get hold of the back of the left knee and then bring the left foot in towards the thigh, like you're doing the tree pose, and then bring this leg down. Now if this knee is floating up in the air, if the shin isn't connected to the ground, then put a block there for the head of your knee just to support it. And then hold on to the belt. So chances are, because we're sitting on a lift, that knee might be higher up than it would normally be if we were sitting directly on the floor. So just make sure that you support it, because you can hurt your knee otherwise. So turn the straight leg, that right leg, turn it inwards. Draw the abdomen towards that straight leg. Pull on the belt and lift up into the heart area. Turning the chest to face that straight leg, pushing the foot into the belt. And then just a little bit at a time come forwards, lifting up into the chest. So if you've got a bad back, just stay at that first stage, just lifting the chest. But if you can come down, then incrementally come down again, keeping the head lifted, keeping that leg turning, keeping the chest turning towards the leg. Bringing the chest down onto the leg. And then finally, if you can, bring the head down, but the chest has to be on the leg first. Continue to really focus on the depth of your breath. Focusing on that inhalation, filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. And then come back to the center, just observing the quietness of the brain. When you come out of a forward bend, just release that left leg, just hook the belt around both feet, and then come back into dandasana. Dandasana is what tadasana is to the seated poses. Okay, just let go of the belt, just cross it over so it stays in a rough position, and then get the hand into the back of the right knee and then bring that foot all the way up. So again, if the outside of the thigh is, not the thigh, sorry, the outside of the calf muscle is on the floor, then you don't really need the support. But if the knee is up in the air like this, then definitely have some support for that leg. Just feel that your hips are still level. You haven't pulled that bent leg hip back too far. Correct it if you have. Just take hold of the belt. And then again, turn the leg inwards from the little toe side to the big toe side, so that you can push evenly into the inner heel and the outer heel. So keep turning that leg inwards and rotating the chest so that it's facing the leg. So again, if you've got a bad back, you can stay at this stage. Otherwise, coming forwards on an out breath. Feeling the lungs with the vitality of the oxygen. Coming forwards on an in-breath, on an out-breath, sorry. Reaching around the foot if you can. Keep that straight leg turning inwards. Keep the head lifted initially as you come forwards and down. Keep turning the leg. Keep the head lifted until the chest is on the leg. And then bring the head down. Keep turning that leg though. There's a real temptation to, as soon as you bring the head down, to let that leg just roll outwards. Keep it rolling inwards. Keep the chest rotating towards the leg. So very stimulating for the liver and the kidneys, but particularly the liver. Is a really good pose for the liver. And then coming back to the center, and then stretch the legs out again. Just push the feet into the belt and lift up into the chest, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Just observe the quietness of the brain, and then let go of the belt, and then just bring the legs into cross legs into swastikasana. So stay sitting on the lift. Might not be as high as the lift that you begin on, but it'll still be a little lift. Hold on to the knees, lift up into the chest. Again, just filling the lungs with the air that you draw in through the nostrils. And with an exhalation, gently turn to the right side. Using the exhalation to turn a little more deeply. Come back to the center. Hold on to your knees, lift up into the chest. Take a deep inhalation. And then turn to the left. So the air is obviously a completely free resource that brings in the vitality of the universe. Come back to the center. We're going to finish with just a gentle restorative pose. This is really nice. So just unfold your blanket just once, and then what I want you to do is to get the end and roll it like a Swiss roll. So that is going to support your neck. That will feel lovely. So the size of the Swiss roll, you might have to adjust a couple of times, but it will be very nice. So then you're going to come down. You're going to initially, so you're going to use a bolster. You're going to come down and just rest your head in the little roll. Now this just on its own is really lovely. But then you're going to just lift up the seat bones and then slide a bolster underneath your back. So you can go quite high up your back, about halfway up your back. And then just have space to just stretch your arms out to the side. And then maybe you can maybe raise that, make the roll a little bigger or smaller. Just let the arms rest to the side. Just let the arms rest. Let the feet rest on the floor. If it's too strong in your back, then just shuffle the bolster away a little. But allow yourself to relax. Once you're in the position, allow yourself to relax into the pose. But in that relaxation, maintain that focus on the inhalation. Just maintaining that observation and activation of the inhalation. Filling the lungs into the armpit chest. Filling the lungs into the back chest as well as the front chest. Trying to touch all of the edges of the lungs with the breath. Just allowing the body to relax into the floor. Just filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. So this restorative bridge pose just brings lightness of energy. Brings clarity of thoughts. Helps to release tension in the neck, so it helps to calm the brain, quieten the brain. seat bones, just slide the bolster away. Just have the bolster underneath the backs of the legs and underneath the knees. You can stay with the rolled up blanket underneath your head if you like, or you can just unfold it and just have the blanket for your head. Just allow yourself to completely release into the floor. Let go of the muscles of the arms and the legs. Just make sure you're in a really good straight line. And then allow the muscles to release. Let go of the arms and the legs so that the body just becomes heavy on the floor. And out of that heaviness comes a genuine sensation of tangible energy radiating from the bones and into the muscles. Radiating into the muscles and the organs. And the flesh and the skin. Okay, when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Just bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. Just distributing the energy of the breath through the breath, the energy of the body through the breath, up into the brain as well as the limbs. And then just bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, have the feet apart, the knees together for a moment, just resting the lower back. And then roll over onto your right side, just stay down for a breath or two. Straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. And then just come into cross legs with your hands in Namasti, just a final spinal lift. Drawing your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside, around the heart area. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Just connecting the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb. It's a gesture of wisdom and physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our day as an intention. Just raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open, and then the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel like you've really lifted your energy, giving yourself good, positive energy to put into your day. So thank you.